Hello and welcome to the Knitmancy podcast. I am your host Valentina, coming at you from just south of Richmond, Virginia. You can find me online at all of the names down below, but for just a couple of quick ones, you can find me on Instagram as Middle of the Madness, on Tumblr as gnollprincess, or as Knittermancer, on Ravelry as Knittermancer, and at twitch.tv/gnollprincess, Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. until about 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Got it all. So I've got some stuff to show, some things, almost everything that you've seen before, as well as something else I've been doing this week and, well, in the last week. And yeah, I mean, let's hop right in, right? As always, this window is going to be the bane of my existence for being bright. So we're gonna work with what we got. And here's doing goofy things. So I have a finished object, finished object that you've seen, stuff that you haven't seen. Here is just a smidge too long. Might be why I can't get it to act the way I want it to act. Okay, but that's good enough. I got finished stuff. I got stuff I'm working on. Yeah. So to start off with no ends woven in because I didn't get that far. I've got, let's stick it over here so it's in front of that window. My Ghost Horses by Caitlin Hunter in Queensland collection Rainbow Beach in Starfish, which is the bluey tan one, and Moonwynd, which is the more rainbow colored one. So, whoop, there you go. So I did the short sleeves and then I shortened the sleeves even more because I just didn't care. I need to deal with these ends over here because they're a little bit obnoxious. And it fits. So I think I have a greater issue with the yoke depth is not quite deep enough for me. So everything sits in, and then I have an issue of it rides up. So I'll be wearing the sweater normally, and then next thing I know, it's like that, like ridiculously high up where it shouldn't be. And that causes the entire body to lift up. So instead of, this sitting nicely across my chest, it's more like that sitting across my chest. I mean, I know the body is short, but my summer secret summer crop that I showed a little while ago, like that has the same body length and it works better for me because of just how the fabric's made. Here's some floats. So honestly, I think as I would normally wear this, it's not going to work, so I have to work out some stuff. Especially because I am not the type for dresses. I really don't like dresses. I don't like my thighs to rub, and that's a major thing for me. So the other thing I can consider finished, I guess, is not knitting. Let me toss out a bunch of these so I can show off a little bit. And kind of explain what I've... Okay, there we go. I've tossed everything out. So, over the last, week... Oh, no, I can't quite say that. because I've done most of this in like a morning, a day. I did all of this in a day. What am I talking about? So I got a free, I was going ahead doing a free trial with Skillshare. And I have a lot of like jewelry making stuff. Oh, that reminds me, I have. This goes into it too. Because like, you know, I've made the little stitch markers and stuff before. And so I have wire, but I wanted to, at one point I was like, oh, I want to try doing like wire wrapping and all that, making stuff that way. Well, because I have wire, I did a little class on Skillshare for wire earrings. There we go. So this is all just wire that I've bent into the shapes. We've got, I have like 2 pairs of little triangles that I've made. I've got small squares. Let's see, I got a couple of pairs of small squares, like 3 pairs. Made bigger squares or diamonds. I have a bunch of those. So those are really easy. And then I made like a single pair of little circular ones. And this morning, so I was getting out of bed, I had another idea I wanted to try. There you go. That I might do soon. I just have like these little containers that I got for free that I have them all hung out in for now. So clearly I've made a lot. I've made more than is feasible. Plus, so to some people this isn't going to make too much sense, but I can't wear them. My actual ear holes right here is bigger than what those fit. So when you talk about the sizes of wire or jewelry, when you have like piercings and stuff, or even your ears pierced, you know, like people who stretch their ears, they go up, and you have originally the gauge sizes, which is like, I think it goes down as low as a 24 and goes all the way up to a 00 or 000. At some point you just start calling it in inches or centimeters because of how big. But the smaller the number, the thicker it is. Yes. So like that, the wire there was 20 gauge wire. This bar is 14. And then like my septum ring here, not that you can tell, but that one is like a 16. So typically ears, regular ear piercings are about a 20 gauge. And it's so standardized that when you go shopping for jewelry, you don't have to think about it. Any other piercing, you gotta remember and think about it a little bit. No, reverse. It's all reverse. Fix my hair once again. I'll get it in some semblance of something that works for me. So I spend a morning doing that. Now I have to figure out what to do with all those. I have thoughts, but I don't know. But like, because I have all the jewelry, well, this was originally what I was doing. There's another set of these. Well, I'll show off this set. Set that back for a second. there's the other side. So this is originally what I was sitting down and doing. Made little like stitch marker sets. I made a gold toned and then more of a brassy coppery toned, or silver toned and more of a brassy coppery tone. And both sets include the same little things. I'll pick this one up because I prefer this one. This is more the color scheme that I like. So I have a bunch of beads and such. And both sets have a little arrow, a little one done with 5 beads, with like a pearly kind of one in the middle, a little dagger, clearly not used to doing this. Come on. Anyway, a little dagger. A little jar of beads. And then a little feather. Focus is just not happening where you're focusing on everything but what I wanted to. Either way, I made like 2 sets. This one, the beads are not amber toned, instead they're more, see, now we're gonna focus. They're more just pearly white. And again, there's that little jar. So yeah, I made like 2 little sets of these. Put them on some strings so that like I would have them all together to show. So we'll set those back over there. And I'm probably going to keep one of those just because I can. Because it's mine and I can. But yeah, that's what I've been mostly working on. That's what I've done a bunch of. And then I have a box here. See, it's a box. Oh, it's a box for those little plastic things. They had little plastic anchors that you put into a wall in them. Again, that I got for free, so I don't complain. But I picked up my gingham blanket again. And I think by the time I finish this, I will have figured out the color changes a little bit better, but until then, part of me thinks that, which I might try on the next row. So I'm working through just the second repeat of this pattern down here. And that's where we're at. Pattern is around here somewhere. The Fireside Gingham Afghan and pillow that I had gotten in a kit from Knit Picks. So here's the actual like pattern. And I'm currently working on the throw. And this pattern is by Donna Barranti for Knit Picks. It's done in Knit Picks Brava Sport in black, wine, and red. These are the 3 colors. And yeah, it's a crochet thing. So I leave it by my computer, so I'll work on it, and yeah, that's where we're at. I've also not been working on this, so this is not a lot of progress, and I should probably stick a little something on it. Oh look, it's my little fine needles one. So that we have a much better clue of where I am next time I come to show it. looped into a stitch somewhere. It's attached to some yarn somewhere. So yeah, I think I've done a total of like a row and a quarter, a row and a fifth since you've last seen it, because I just picked it up yesterday for sitting in here. I just realized that I had something else that I had finished. Good. Oh, there we go. I'll show this off because I also had made this. Again, more little jewelry stuff. I made a little ring. So some of those little white pearly beads. It kind of fits my pinky finger, sort of. But yeah. Definitely want to try doing more or different rings. I'll set that up there. One moment. Promise I do have shorts on. They're just very short. So, why didn't I get my stuff all set up better for me to pick it up? The world may never know. We have the sock. The return of the sock. So as I had shown previously, we have one Hermione's Everyday Sock in Chromatic yarns. Don't be a sad bear. And so I don't mind, which I do mind to have a little bit different than the pattern calls for. There we go. That's the colorway. And plain, and then there it is with the texture, and whew, that window is being rough. There you go. And here it is in its ball because I had to hand wind the ball. But let me stick this guy on because oh boy, y'all. Oh boy. I will deal with that in a second. I'm onto the heel flap, and I'm almost done with the heel flap. And also, my needle came out. Don't worry about it. I've got it. We'll fix it. If you're wondering where I was last time, that's an entire leg. And I'm about to start the gusset. And the gusset decreases. And onto the foot. In a week, I have knit half a sock. Roundabouts. I'm not going to make guarantees that by next week the other half of the sock will be done, but as it stands right now, I have half a sock. So let me sort out my life for a second. My stitch marker back. And I think actually we're at that point where I've run out of things to talk about to show you. Because that's just how life is. Except, okay, I'll talk about wire for a little bit. So here's the wire I've been using. It's this bronze, antique bronze by Craft Wire. There you go. And I wasn't sure if I had any in 20 gauge, and it turned out I did. I had this bronze one. And so I was like, I need some wire, so I have it in copper. Same stuff in copper. And then I also had found apparently a giant spool of 15 yards. Well, this is 6 yards. 15 yards of gold by Darius Craft Designer Wire. I have a bunch of gold. so I'll be making a bunch of gold things. And just to point out how ridiculous this all is, I'm 5 feet. Yep, 5 feet of silver. So I'll be making a lot of gold. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Right. I don't even know how my stitch marker fell off. Was it not in the right place to begin? So, I mean, that's the not so exciting stuff. It's wire. I know people knit with wire, and I have a couple of ideas for things that I want to try with it. Which I'm more likely to try in the gold because I got 15 yards of it. Oh Lord. But I brought up the thought of maybe I have to get a couple more things, but maybe I will try to sell some of the earrings because they're quick enough to make. If I get the proper tool, I might try making a couple more rings. But yeah. That's how everything's gone so far. And let's see. Hung out with some family recently. It sounds like I might be attempting to make some soap sometime soon with other people, but still it's one of those things. I think once I start clearing, like if I get the blanket done, I might allow myself to cast on a sweater with some Holst yarn. Because I've got some cones of, got the 2 cones of Holst yarn still. Holst super soft. I do love the cones, and they're such a good price. And the yarn is lovely. I would put it on par with probably Brooklyn tweed, because it does have that kind of tweedy. I don't really want to call it tweedy because it's not quite tweedy. It's heathered sort of appearance, which is beautiful. It's a beautiful yarn, and it is a bit rough to start with, but once you wash it and you block it, it's beautiful. But that won't be happening. Instead, what will happen first is going to be the Mountain Mama socks for my brother. Yeah. The dog has been taking it pretty easy the last couple of days. It's almost strange to see him this kind of relaxed. He hasn't barked at the neighbors very much, or, you know, he'll sit in the window and still look outside, but he's not as barky. I hear him huff from the other room. I have a yoga mat set out because I used it yesterday and just didn't pick it back up and put it back up, and it's got a little strap thing there. Just probably why I haven't picked it back up. That and I'm trying to let it forget its curl at the bottom, because it curls like wants to roll back in on itself real badly. So I just have it sitting out. Normally I'll weight this end, but I think just letting it sit out allows it to lose its curl. Oh, and it just sits out. So we've seen my beautiful shamrock, which has a new pot now. But I need more soil for the pot. I also got a couple more plants. I have a little felt plant. See, look at his little leaves. Which there's a lot of dirt on the bottom of his leaves. But on the bottom, he's got little bumps, little spikes. And he is called a fang felt plant, or a fang variety of a felt plant. He was $1. I might need to water him. His soil's a little bone dry. Throw the tag. I got myself a little aloe plant. He also probably needs a little bit of water. But I sat there and I looked at aloe plants, and he was one of the better looking ones out of the bunches. I think some of his little leggies there are barely in. As I said, I think he also needs a little bit of water. So yeah, they all need a little bit more soil too, because they were in smaller pots than what I put them in. Then I have a couple of things outside that I still need to plant, and once that's done, I'll have all my plants sorted. So with that, I think I'm gonna go. I'm going to attempt to at least get through the heel turn of the socks, of this sock today, and yeah, I will see you next time. Please wash your hands, stay safe, wear a mask, avoid other people if you can, and until next time, bye.